Okay. This maybe I should have actually set up the camera before I started this. Hi. Oh, I like haphazardly put on lipstick because I'm really cold right now. When I get really cold, it looks like I'm dying. My lips turn purple and shit, so it looks like I'm dying. So remember how I said I didn't think I'd have time to paint my room this week? That was a lie. Pink wall, white wall. That wall over there is still blue, but it's gonna be white. That wall behind y'all is pink. This area is about to be white. That area over there. It's not all white, but it's gonna be white. You're gonna learn in a second how this happened. But I'm gonna get back to painting. I also have no idea when I'm gonna film this actual video, but I thought it'd be funny to just do this and let y'all know that I painted these fucking walls. It's so windy. But yeah, I'm gonna get back to painting though. I think I'm getting delirious from all the paint fumes. But my walls are painted. Most of them are. Like, a seventh of them are. Not a seventh, what the fuck? Like a half and then some of my walls are painted. So I'm gonna tell you in the rest of the video why that is. And yeah, I hate how this shirt makes me look like I have the tiniest head in the world. I promise I don't. I'm gonna get back to painting and you're gonna see the rest of the actual video and learn why the fuck I decided to do this. Bye bye. Or hi, since this is the beginning of the video. Okay, bye. Hi. 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 So, as you saw from the intro, I guess, I did paint my room this week, and that's because this week is very different from the last couple of weeks. And we'll get to that in a second. So, we're gonna do the check-in first, just to I don't know why I'm explaining it. I feel like if you've been watching these videos, you know why we're doing this now. Oh, I got a new, I ordered a phone charm, and it's so cute. It's a drawing of my favorite member of Luna, Vivi. It's so cute. So she's just gonna be dangling there the whole time. Hopefully she doesn't make that much noise. So how many days did you do your morning pages this week? How was the experience for you? So they were fine because I didn't have anything to do, so I didn't feel like I was rushing them. However, I did miss one day. I missed yesterday, which is Saturday. It wasn't even because I didn't want to do them. It was just because I was gonna go out to breakfast. I was supposed to go out early to breakfast with my family. I went to bed too late the night before, and then I woke up right before we were supposed to leave. It wasn't even that I didn't want to do them, and I think that's why I'm kind of mad about it and frustrated about it. But morning pages were so calm this week. I started using my new journal that I told you all about, and it was fun. I think I did a lot of introspection this week in my morning pages, just because we're gonna get to why this week was so different, but it was really different, not just because I was home and painted my walls, but because of other reasons. So there's that. Did you do your artist date this week? Does your artist get to do more than rent a movie? What did you do? How did it feel? So my artist date this week. So one of the tasks this week, which I guess I'll talk about now, is task 7, which is an extended artist date, and which is like a whole day just like to yourself. And so because I'm home right now, it was only really half a day, but in general, like it was Wednesday I decided to do it, and I woke up, I made a nice breakfast for myself, I went on a walk out like around my neighborhood. I watched a movie, I drew a lot while watching the movie and after, and then I ate with my parents, and it was nice. It was a nice day. I think it was my favorite day this week. It was nice. I think it was the most calming day this week because I think painting my room was like so exhausting and stressful that I felt like towards the end of that week, I just felt so bad and weird and just like tired, and I was like, oh, like I was so miserable yesterday, I'm gonna be honest, but like Wednesday was definitely like my favorite day of this week. I also think I watched no, that was the day before, never mind, ignore me. But yeah, did you experience like synchronicity this week? What was it? Okay, we're moving on to this. Damn, only 5 minutes, guys. I'm getting so good at like doing check-in quicker. So I think I did the only like really big like moment of synchronicity for me, I think, this week was the fact that this specific week was during my spring break, which was like, I think it was just like perfect timing for me and like what the book was asking me to do this week, with like this thing called rating deprivation, which I'm going to get into in a second. I was able to do a lot more than I would have been able to do this week than if I had to do this week while I was at school. Were there any other issues this week that you consider significant for your recovery? I think me being home this week was a very double-edged sword because I'm not able to do a lot when I'm at home because I don't have my license, so I had to make do. I would have done more for my artist date if I had my license, which I guess is like, then I should probably get my license, but I don't have it currently, and so I can't really do anything about that. So I guess that's like a big thing, like I'm home, so I can't do as much as I can while I'm at school, and so that might have hindered me a little bit in like the scope of things that I can do. So there's that. Check-in already done. Oh my god, I made a smoothie for my birthday too. It wasn't the best, but I think just like the aspect of like making a smoothie was so nice. I realized recently that I haven't really been going over the exercises that are in the book, so I'm gonna do that real quick. They're basically like you do them while you're reading the chapter, and so there was an exercise for that week called Variant Dreams, and it was basically to just like speed write any spontaneous answers to a bunch of questions about things that you might want to do, you want to try doing, and you haven't done in a while, stuff like that. So the first one is 5 hobbies that sound fun. I wrote knitting, painting, hiking, collecting retro games, and pottery. And then 2 was 5 classes that sound fun. And I said visual development, aesthetic philosophy. This one, like wellness and happiness class that my brother keeps talking about. A class about gouache and a creative writing class. 3 is 5 things I'd never do that sound fun. And I said working out, bar hopping, fishing, bungee jumping, dance classes. Number 4 is 5 skills that'd be fun to have. And I said traditional painting because I suck at traditional painting, but I like digital painting. Knitting again, cooking, 3D modeling, and gardening. 5 is 5 things I used to enjoy doing, and I again said traditional painting because I haven't done it in a while. Writing fiction, watching movies and anime on a regular basis, researching random topics I find interesting, and I didn't know what to put for the last one, so I just put playing Pokemon. And then 6 was 5 silly things that I'd like to try once, and I said traveling to a random country by myself, night clubbing, camping alone, Boston dance class, and coding a game. And so the point of this is to like get some like unconscious wishes that I have out, and I think one of the things that surprised me the most with this one is like how much that I kind of just want to like go out and do like fun, like spontaneous shit. Like I really like think, even though it terrifies me, like going out to bars and like dancing, like learning how to dance, like choreographed dances, like whole routines, and you have to like count and stuff. And that's like that type of things are really interesting to me, I think. And this ended up being like ideas for stuff that I could do while in my reading slash media deprivation. And yeah, it's Tuesday while I'm recording this, and I'm way into week 5 now. Way into week 5. I've already done 2 tasks for week 5 already. But there's a lot of exercise in this in week 5. So I just wanted to, and I realize I should probably be going over the exercises. I'm sorry about that, but that's still the one exercise I was in week 4. Anyways, I hope I get this out by Tuesday or Wednesday. I mean, oh my god. So, with the tasks this week, I think I'm gonna first go over the reading deprivation that I just mentioned, which is the biggest tool of this week. And basically, she asks you not to read. Whatever you do, do not read. And she wrote this book 30 years ago. It's like the edition I have is the 30th anniversary edition. And so it's different times now. And so before I committed to that, I looked into what other people did. And when I read that, I was like, so I should like probably not use like Twitter or any like social media. And that's exactly what other people thought. They were like, yeah, for this week I decided not to do any social media, no YouTube, whatever. So this week ended up, that was like the main thing I did, like bigger than the tasks and like the morning pages and the artist day, where I was just like, no social media, no reading. When I tell y'all, this was like hard because I realized this in my morning pages this morning. This is the first time I've like deliberately tried not to use social media ever in my life, which is crazy. I maybe it's not that surprising, but to me that's crazy. Like, it's such a like crucial thing to my everyday life that when I try not to use it, I'm like, what the fuck do I do with my time right now? I wrote about it on my Substack. You can go read it. I wrote it like the night after I read the chapter for week 4, and I was like, dude, what do I do? So you can't read, you can't use social media. I also decided, like, you know what? You don't get to watch YouTube either, because I was like, I watch YouTube a lot. I want to see what happens when I try not to watch it. So I didn't get to watch YouTube, but I was like, so what the fuck do I do with my time now? When she talks about the reading deprivation, she lists a bunch of things that you can do. One of them is paint the bedroom. Fun fact about me, I've been planning to paint my bedroom for like 2-3 years now. I think I told y'all this in my last video. 2-3 years now, I've been planning to paint my bedroom, because otherwise they have been the same color since I was like 3 and we like moved into this house. So they were like really dirty and like messy. There was a bunch of stains on them. It was kind of gross. And it didn't really feel like my room. So I've been wanting to paint them for a while. And because I wasn't really going to be doing anything else this week, because I couldn't do, like, interact with media like I usually do, I was like, Mommy, should I paint my walls this week? And she was like, if you want to, sure. And I was like, bet. So, fun fact, in the journey to get these walls painted, we ended up realizing that we lost the paint cans that we bought 2 years ago or 3 years ago. I don't even know how long it's been. We lost the paint cans, so we had to go buy new ones. Whole journey for that shit. But anyways, as you can see, we ended up getting it done because in my last video these walls were blue. But with task 10, we're gonna start the end, I guess, now. She asks you, if you break your reading deprivation, write about how you did it in a tantrum, in a slip up, a binge. How do you feel about it? Why? So I did that. I wrote about it. So I did slip up. I didn't expect myself to be perfect with this. I think I understood that because I rely so heavily on the media I consume, it was probably going to be like, I did it 70% or like 80%, and like the other 20% was going to be like slip ups or binges. And I think I went into this week understanding it, but I still come away from it a bit disappointed. I think the biggest one I think I'm kind of disappointed with was I went on Instagram too much. I didn't even use Instagram to like scroll, look at reels or anything. I literally only used it to text my friends, which I think most people would say was fine. I was just kind of like iffy about it because I was still using Instagram. And I was like, oh, I'm like planning with my friends, I'm talking to my friends, but it's like I could have called them instead or something like that. I don't know if that's something to be mad about. I think I'm just like, I feel like I could have done better on using Instagram. On not using Instagram this week, but also I kind of had to use Instagram this week, not just to talk to my friends, but also I made a promise to y'all to make my new art account, and I did. Here's a picture of it. I'm probably gonna change the username next week or in 2 weeks. You can't use a username that's been used in the past like 14 days, so past 2 weeks. And so I've been using just like Shineru with no underscore after, but because I got rid of that username and then I tried to use it on my new account, my Instagram was like, no, you're not allowed to use it yet, so I can't use it yet. It's fine though. Follow me at Shineru underscore unless it's already been 2 weeks, in which case follow me at Shineru. What else did I do? I think the best way I can describe it is I started like slowly cracking throughout this week. Like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday were like, I was barely online. I had like a little binge on like Tuesday night where I played Cookie Run for like 3 hours because I didn't know what else to do. And then I banned myself from Cookie Run except for doing my dailies on that game. Because if I don't do my dailies, then I get kicked out of my guild. So I had to do my dailies. I don't know if anybody understands what I just said, but I have to like play the game in order to like stay in a guild that I'm in that like gives me benefits while I play the game. So, oh yeah, I am so addicted to YouTube. I talked about this in my little Substack thing that I wrote that I mentioned, and I was like, I am so addicted to YouTube that I like can't go without it for like months, or like I can't go out without it for a week. I cracked on Wednesday night where I was like, you know what, no, I think it was Thursday night, Wednesday or Thursday night. I was like, I've done a lot this week, I'm gonna do one YouTube video, because it was like 2 a.m. so I watched that one YouTube video and then I slowly started cracking. So I wish I could have done better on that front. I think YouTube is mostly just a time drainer. It doesn't like necessarily like poison my mind or anything. It's just like when I watch YouTube videos, and I'm only watching YouTube videos, I'm not just using them for background noise. Sometimes I forget that I'm watching YouTube, and then it's like 2 hours later, I'm like, oh my god, I still have to do homework. Like things like that. So I wish I could have done better on the front with YouTube and Instagram, but what really surprised me is that like not using Twitter was like shockingly easy. Like I thought I was gonna have a hard time with that, but like just not opening Twitter and like having the frame of mind like, okay, I'm not gonna open Twitter is so easy for me. And I'm contemplating deleting Twitter right now because I'm like, that would be fine. I would be fine. I wouldn't because my worry has always been, oh, I'm not gonna be able to like keep up with Luna. Genuinely my only like reason for worrying, because Luna's fan base is a very like Twitter centric fan base, but I follow accounts on Instagram that update just fine on them, so I'm like, I feel like that's just an excuse. So maybe I delete my K-pop Twitter and I only keep like an Instagram or Twitter, and I don't post on it even that much. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe I don't even need to wean off Twitter, like I said. I need to like just get off it. But overall, I had some slip-ups. I had some binges like I expected, but it's okay. I think because I did something that has been on my back burner for such a long time, and I think I'm very proud of that. And also with starting a new art account, I drew a lot more this week than I have in the past couple weeks. And I think I'm happy with that. The only problem I had with this is now I have a bunch of readings I have to do for school that I don't want to do because it's so much. It's like 3 different classes that want me to do readings, and I'm like, but it's fine. It's fine. What else can I say on that? Like, I don't know. It was interesting to just like go out, and I went on walks. I went on a walk with my mom, and I think this week, even though I did have those slip-ups, I felt very like peaceful and like free. I was like, oh, I'm just I don't know, like, even though I like, maybe I could have done this better, but with how I did it this week, and how even though I am disappointed with some of the ways that I handled this tool, I think I still was able to get a lot out of it. And I remember I wrote I want to try doing this again, like first week I'm back from college, just to see, and I recommend it to anybody who's like, I hate how much I use social media, and like I hate how I'm not doing a lot. If you like, I wrote about this in my Substack, like if you take away everything you consume, you can only serve to create, which I think is the biggest thing I took away from this week. I think it's a good place to start with, like, if you want to be more productive. So yeah, there's that one. There's that whole thing with the reading deprivation. It might come up later. So task 1 was about your ideal environment, like where it is, 1 paragraph, draw an image, what's your favorite, and then she also asks you what's your favorite season, draw it, place it near your working area. So I wrote about my ideal environment genuinely is like an apartment in like a, not necessarily a small town, like between like a small town like and a metropolitan city. So like those like in between types of towns, like for the people who know where I go to college, just like the 2 towns that I always visit while I'm in there, like it's just perfect for me. So I want an apartment there, and I'd want it to have a nice bedroom, an office / studio, a small kitchen and a small living room and a space for a dining space. I would want it to be like big enough where I could have people over, but I wouldn't want it to be too big, so it would feel like lonely when I was in there alone, which I would be in there a lot alone because it would only be my apartment. It wouldn't be anybody else's, because I like the idea of living alone. And it had a lot of cool decorations. It had like vintage furniture. I'd try to take care of plants. I'm very good at killing plants, I have learned over the past couple of years. I'm very good at killing plants. But I want to learn how to take care of plants when I like eventually live alone. I think it'd be nice to have like a house full of plants. It'd be painted, if I could paint the apartment, because I feel like most apartments don't allow you to paint, but if I could, I'd paint it with my favorite colors on the walls. I'd put up a bunch of like paintings and art prints from people that I like and like artists I like. I'd like have these furniture, like basically my ideal environment for some reason is just like dream apartment, and I live alone. I think as a kid I've always wanted to live alone. Like when I was like 12, I was like, I'm so excited to have my own apartment. And I think it would just be peaceful, and I really want to have like an office studio that like I can work in, and I can like, that's like separate from my bedroom, because I hate having my workspace in the same space as my bedroom. So even if it was just like right across the hall from my bedroom, I think an office and studio space would be like a joy and a gift. So there you go. And then for favorite season, I decided to just describe autumn. I drew a little picture. I don't know. It tells you to draw a picture. It was like by the way, when I did all these tasks, it was like 2 a.m. I low-key love not having roommates when I have to do these tasks, because I can do them whenever I want. But I love my roommates. I love them so, dude, I'm gonna miss my roommates so much next semester. Oh my god. But I also love my new roommate that I'm gonna have next semester, so double-edged sword. Whatever the fuck. There's a phrase with that where you're like gonna miss what you used to have, but you're excited for what you're about to have. There's probably a phrase for that. I don't remember it though. But yeah, I described fall, and it's like perfect weather. It's so beautiful and pretty. And like it's not like spring where the weather is perfect, but like it's kind of sad out because like the trees still don't have like leaves yet. It's like perfect. The leaves are falling, but there's still leaves on the trees. Like you can still only wear a sweater out. You don't have to wear a big puffy jacket. You know, like seasonal drinks. Like it's like getting to that weather where I feel comfortable drinking hot coffee when I'm on campus. It's like perfect. I love fall, and fall is so pretty where I go to school, and honestly where I live here at home too. So I love that. And it's just a very comforting season. I think it's like also like symbolically, I feel like it's changing, like you're transitioning into something new. It signifies like, oh, we're about to get into the end of the year. And it I think fall is kind of like the butterfly of the seasons, if that makes sense. And I fucking love butterflies, and also what they represent with like changing and like bringing new life and stuff. I don't know. I like things that change. Change is scary, but I think I always want to invite it in my life. So there's that. That's task 1. And then I did task 5 because I was scared of tasks 2 and 3. So reviewing life pie growth. If you remember from week 2, I did a task called the life pie, where it was, let me look at it. Did I just show you guys this? I don't think I did. Hold on. There it is. I drew it really badly because I did the pie wrong, and I was like, oh wait, it's only 6, not 8. But it's a thing of exercise, play, work, friends, romance / adventure, and spirituality. And then she asks you to review it, like, has anything grown from then, you know, whatever. I think what I said, the only thing that's really grown from that point has been play. I've been like talking to my friends more and like planning. They're coming to visit me next weekend, which I'm so excited for. But I think play out of all those has really only grown. I guess exercise a little bit too, but that's only because I've been deliberately going out on walks, which it's like it's like the perfect weather to like, or is becoming the perfect weather to go out on walks. So I've been going out on walks more. And those are the only really things that have grown. I'm very scared, I think, of like engaging with spirituality in some weird ways, even though I think I'm very like sure of like what I think I believe in when it comes to spirituality, but it's just like kind of scary for me to engage in due to like personal reasons, I guess. Romance/adventure. I'm a romantic and I'm scared of trying new things, even though I just talked about how much I think change is good. So I'm a hypocrite. But yeah, I think play has changed the most, which is something I want to improve on the most. So, was there any other ones that I missed? Friends, work. God, work has honestly probably gone down from week 2, if I'm being real, because I don't know if I like my job right now. We're not gonna talk about that though, because sometimes I feel like if I talk about my jobs online too much, they're gonna like find me and be like, you piece of shit, we're gonna fire you. And it's like, so, but yeah, I need to do better with my job that I have right now, because I always forget about it because I have class. I am not made for having a job while I'm at school, I have realized, but I need one. Okay, so task 2 and then task 3 are both time travel tasks, which I think I probably went over in like week 1 and week 2, but they come back again and she asks you to think about yourself at 80 and then like be very specific, like very, very specific with what you think you at 80 has done, what you would do after you were 50. And so I think me at 80, I imagine myself probably living alone. If I have a partner, that's fine, but I'd also be happy living alone, I think. I think she traveled to a lot of places in her home. I don't know why I'm talking about her like she's another person. Me at 80, I'd probably like live alone. I'd probably have a nice decked out home, similar to like my ideal living space, I guess, that I described in task 1. And she'd have a lot of art in her home. She'd have a lot of plants in her home. She'd have a studio still. And I said that I'd probably have traveled to Iceland by the time I'm 50. Random ass place. I don't even know what goes on in Iceland. I just think it'd be nice to visit. And then I think I'd have a couple of video and animation pieces and some important museums' permanent collections. I think that'd be cool. And I also hope to have one Best Animated Short Film at the Oscars, or at any like big important award show. I think that'd be cool. And I think if I like manifest that and say, okay, that's like a goal I have, I think, and if I work for it, I think it could happen, maybe. And like for the hell of it, I also threw in Best Animated Feature, because I was like, by 80, I'm gonna be a little old lady director who directs animated movies. And I think overall, I just want to be calm and like assured that I have left behind something in the world, because by the time you're 80, you're just like, I feel like you're kind of just like getting ready to die. When you're 80, like you're calming down, you're probably retired by then, so you're just like, by the time I'm like probably retired, I just want to be able to say I left something behind in this world and I'm proud of it. I want to have some type of legacy. big plans. And then she asks you to write a letter to yourself, which it gets personal. And I also did this at 2 a.m. and I almost cried writing this, because I think I ended up writing myself a lot of things that I think I need to hear. And I think I wrote them in a way that just like reassures me and tells me you're doing all right. And I to like just keep going, and like you can have doubts, but please keep striving towards your dreams. Don't let yourself or others bring you down and bring your dreams down. I'm getting like, my heart's like swelling up a little bit. Like, I think this task and task 3 like really got to me emotionally. And task 3 is like the opposite of this, which is you at 8. And me at 8, I described as like the calm before the storm, because it was before I really had unlimited access to the internet. So I was still only really interacting with like my favorite things, and I wasn't really thinking about what other people thought of me, and I didn't have like the influence of the internet over me yet. So I was just like, I was still happy then, which I'm happy now. I don't know why I'm saying it like that, but I think I didn't think about what other people thought of me when I was 8 years old, and I liked my favorite things and I didn't care. And so she asks you to like write as yourself as 8 to me now. That's what I forgot to say with the me at 80 thing. You're supposed to like write to yourself as if you were 80 to me now, so me at 19. So I tried to like get into the frame of mind I remember having when I was 8, but it's very blurry because I don't really have good memory. So I was like, I do remember thinking like 19 was like, oh, you're basically like Ash. Like, and it got emotional for me as here as well. I think I like actually like tears started forming in my eyes. I cry at very specific things, I guess, like fully cry, but this, I felt myself sort of like welling up, I guess, while writing this. There's like some things in here where like I definitely wouldn't say it that way when I was 8, but I can't remember how I wrote when I was 8, so I said it the best I could. One thing I do remember though is every time I wrote letters when I was 8, or like younger, around that age, I'd always write a little PS, because I thought PS's, like PS, blah 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 blah, at the end of a letter. I always thought that was really fun when I was a kid. So I made sure to include that, and I think that part made me really happy, because I was like, oh my god, I forgot that I did that all the time. And I think the phrases in this one are much simpler, obviously, than the one of me at 80, but I think in some ways they hold just the same amount of strength. And I guess these 2 tasks just made me emotional, because I think the passage of time really scares me. And so thinking about myself at 80 when like I'm about to like in the like most awful way I can put it, at like any moment I could drop dead when I'm 80, and then going back to when I was so young and I barely really understood anything and I just liked my favorite things. I think it shows how much I have grown and how much I'm going to grow, and like that's gonna happen no matter what, and so I just have to like live with that. Lots of emotions and a lot of doing things this week, I think. And then task 6, she asks you to write your own artist prayer, which is kind of a thing. So I think I've touched on this before. The artist way gets very spiritual, which is fine. It's called like a spiritual path to a higher creativity. I had to look at the cover for that. And it's simply just to like thank whatever God, universe, whatever you believe in, for your creativity, and to just like connect with that. So I guess my spirituality has gone a little bit high, I guess, because I have been reciting this every day. It's mostly been at night that I do this, like before bed. I just like recite it to myself a little bit, and she asks you to do this for a week, and I did this on Wednesday, so I'm gonna keep doing it until Wednesday and see. I think in some aspects I definitely am religious. I think I think it'd be kind of weird if we just kind of died and there was nothing. Like, I don't know. I think, like, I wouldn't understand the point to all of this if there wasn't something after. And I think thinking of creativity as, like, a gift and, like, as something that, like, you're meant to do, like, you were put on this earth to create, I think is a really good way of thinking about it. And, like, it's like a internal, like, carnal thing. I don't remember the word for it right now. I use it all the time. Innate. It's a very innate thing to life, and I think thinking of it that way has been really helping me. And so this prayer that I wrote myself, I kind of used the one at the end of the book for reference, but I like this one. I think it's helps me a little bit, just a little. And then task 9, which I'm not going to get into because this one is very personal. It's a situation in my life that I think I should change, but I haven't yet. And, like, she asks you, what is the value in me staying stuck? And it's a topic that I think I make art about a lot, but I don't really feel comfortable talking about it that much. It touches on, like, parasocial relationships, though, and I think I just have a very hard time with them and confronting them. And so it's something to do with that. And I think writing it out made me realize, like, oh, this is still part of my life that I need to work on, even though I think I've changed and I think I'm done with this. But nothing is ever completely done, especially something that has harmed me so much and has harmed others so much. So I think right now I'm in a process of, like, accepting that this is a part of my life that, and it's a part of how I act in my everyday life that I think I really need to change, even if it's difficult to admit that I'm even doing it in the first place. So honestly, just by saying that, you can probably, like, understand what I wrote about a little bit. But I just make art a lot about how parasocial relationships are very destructive, and how much they can ruin you, and having to confront the fact that parts of that behavior are still, like, part of my life is kind of it's hard, I think, because I want to believe I've, like, grown completely out of stuff like that, but I haven't. So, but I think that's it. Actually, there is task 8, which is open your closet throughout one low self-worth outfit. Make space for the new. Here's the thing. My mom hates when I throw out clothes and I don't have the means to just, like, go out and, like, give away clothes by myself. And I honestly already did that over break. I do it, like, every summer break. I, like, throw out a bunch of clothes. It's always, like, spring cleaning where I'm like, please, I don't need all these clothes. I need to, like, give them to the other people, whatever. And I honestly have, like, thrown out so many low self-worth outfits. So that's why I didn't do it, I guess. And I think that's it. I don't know. I feel like I really sped through this one. I don't know why. Maybe because the last one was 50 minutes. Sorry about that, by the way, y'all. I know 50 minutes videos are really hard to get through sometimes. Especially if it's just, like, one girl talking in the same angle the whole video. But overall, even though there were some disappointments this week, I did a big thing that I've been meaning to do for a really long time, which is the walls. I started my new art account, which y'all should follow again. And yeah, I think this week I wish I made more time for other hobbies. Like, I did watch a movie I mentioned. I watched The Secret World of Ariete, which picture here. It's a really cute movie. It's definitely one of, like, my lower Studio Ghibli movies, I think. It's cute, but, like, you can tell it was made to, like, be pretty simple, which most Ghibli movies are, honestly. Like, when I came away from it, I was like, that was a good movie, and I wasn't like, this should have changed my life, like how after I was when I watched, like, Whisper of the Heart or Boy and the Heron, or even to an extent Kiki's Delivery Service. I watched the movie and it was good though, and I had some inspiration for art. Like, holy shit, I love characters who have like, who are like tiny and they like use umbrella, like leaves as umbrellas. Ariete does that sometimes in the movie and it's so cute. I love that. But overall this week there were some disappointments, but I was able to do something big, and I'm really, really proud that I was able to do this because I did most of the painting myself. The only thing I didn't do myself was the top of the walls because my mom was like, I have a technique, and I was like, okay, mommy, you do the technique. And then she did the technique, and it's chill and good. And I started the art account. Y'all should follow it. I'm already having some difficulties with it though. I think Meta hates my ass. Because it thinks I'm like botting likes. I only have 5 likes on my first post. I am a very small creator, if you will. So it's like, why do you think I'm botting likes? But I think it's because on that account I followed every art account I followed on my old art account. So it was like, it like is already kind of flagging my account as a bot, which sucks so much. But I might honestly appeal it and be like, hey, blah 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 blah, and then maybe they'll look at it. I don't know, but go follow it so they know that I'm not a bot. And I think honestly, like, the drawings I did this week were like some of my favorite drawings I've done in like the past couple months, which I feel like I might keep saying. I think they hold the personality that I've been like looking for in my art for a long time, which I'm really happy about, and I hope it keeps going in that direction. And I'm sorry for the background noise. My dad watches TV very loudly. Anyways, I just wish I was able to like commit to more hobbies this week. Like, I want to write more this week besides that one Substack thing, but I ended up not doing that because the wall painting took up like 2 like full days, and like I was so tired after that I didn't want to do anything else. So I guess this week overall I just kind of learned like, don't overexert myself, and like treat myself with care and pick myself up from mistakes, and understand that improvement is not one straight upward line. It's in bumps. She literally goes over that, I think, in week 3, that like, in this week I think, that like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, that sort of thing. And she's right, as much as I hate to say it. So I think that's it. I might add more to this once I'm at my dorm, but I think I went over a lot that I want to go over. I'm good. And I'm excited for next week, even though next week I'm very, 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 very busy. We're having a repeat of like, I think week 3 or week 2 it was, where I was like really busy. I didn't have a lot of time to do stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna leave today home, and I'm sad, but I'm gonna be back, and I'm gonna have the opportunity to go on like more artist dates. I might look up some ideas for artist dates, honestly, or like look at some of the stuff that I've written in here, because I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do next week yet, honestly. I might do something similar that I did on week 3, because I was good. But I think that's it. Subscribe to my Substack, follow my new Instagram, subscribe here, tell me whatever the hell you think. And that's been me. I'll see y'all for week 5. We're gonna be recovering a sense of possibility. Oh my god, by the way, I forgot to tell y'all, this week we were recovering a sense of integrity, which I think I did. I think in some sort of way I did, I think. But anyways, next week we're gonna be recovering a sense of possibility, and I think it's gonna be a lot to do with like the payoffs that I've been talking about recently, of like paying off, like what's the payoff of doing like certain things in my life, or like keeping certain things in my life, and realizing that some of them don't really have big payoffs, even though I've kept them in my life for years. But that's it. Subscribe, follow, wherever the fuck I tell you to. Bye bye. Next week I'll be back on campus. Bye bye. Sorry if I chewed on the gum loud at any point during this one.